Hello, my name is Ebony Freeman. I'm the Marketing Communications Manager here at the Knowles Teacher Initiative. Thank you for joining us for today's presentation, which will provide an overview of the Knowles Teacher Initiative and our Teaching Fellows Program. During the presentation today, we encourage you to use the question and answer box on your screen to ask any questions you might have. I'll relay those questions to Jen throughout the presentation. I'll be sorting through them to make sure that we get all of your questions answered. If I have time, I will also answer those questions as typed responses, and you'll be able to see them as the presentation goes on. Without further ado, I'll turn the presentation over to Jen.
Thanks, Ebony.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. So the Knowles Teacher Initiative was established by Janet and C. Harry Knowles in 1999 to increase the number of high-quality high school science and math teachers, and ultimately through that to improve math and science education in the United States. At Knowles, we believe that teachers can and should be the primary agents of educational improvement. And this belief is woven throughout all aspects of the Foundation's programming, including our Teaching Fellows Program, which is our focus today. So we're a national network of math and science teachers who are collaborative and innovative leaders who are, again, working to improve education for all students in the US. We strive to create an educational system that's led by teachers who are equipped to solve difficult problems and respond to local challenges in order to serve all of our nation's students in better understanding and learning math and science. So let's begin today with an overview of the program. While teachers are going through a certification or licensure program, they're often supported by a cohort of other new teachers. They have dedicated mentors that are with them in their classrooms almost all of the time. And in addition, because they're usually connected to college campuses, they often have access to many different resources, including journals and experts and classroom materials and classrooms just to kind of see what is happening in. The first few years of teaching then can often feel jarring for new teachers. They might have a sense of isolation as they navigate their new school environment. Mentoring programs in some cases just aren't as supportive or as comprehensive as they need to be. And schools aren't always able to provide the intellectual resources through professional development or the physical classroom materials that new teachers need to be able to enact that vision of teaching and learning in their classroom that they want. And while they are attempting to learn a new challenging profession, teachers often find themselves under-resourced. The Knowles Teaching Fellowship was designed specifically to address some of the challenges faced by new high school math and science teachers, to help them thrive as new teachers and become teacher leaders who are able to support other teachers to improve math and science education for all students. And you can see a quote here from one of our senior fellows. The Teaching Fellows Program is an intensive and cohesive 5-year program that supports early career secondary math and science teachers and their efforts to develop teaching expertise and to lead from the classroom. Each year, we award approximately 35 fellowships to new math and science teachers, and these teachers have outstanding content knowledge in math or science. They're committed to becoming really great teachers, and they possess the potential to become the kinds of teacher leaders who will make a difference in schools. And there are 3 key leadership development threads that run through all 5 years of the Knowles Teaching Fellows Program: practitioner inquiry, community building, and equity and inclusion. So Ebony, before I go on, are there any questions at this time for me to answer?
Sure, Jen, I do have one question. This one is, it reads, I wanted to ask how I can apply for a teaching license in the USA. Is there a specific course or university to which I have to apply?
So from our perspective, we don't have a specific university that you need to apply to or college that you need to attend. We just need to verification that before you start the program, you would be a certified teacher in the United States. However, different states might certify you. So you'd want to check in with different states that you're interested in teaching in and see what their certification requirements are.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay.
That's it at this time.
Okay. There you go. All right, so next, let me provide a brief overview of the benefits of the fellowship. So Knowles Teaching Fellows receive a comprehensive array of benefits. And again, they are designed to support new teachers and emerging teacher leaders. These benefits include financial support, mentoring and coaching, and membership into a nationwide community of peers. Let me highlight here our financial benefits. We support fellows financially by offering grants to cover expenses that are associated with purchasing classroom materials and engaging in professional development. Additionally, fellows are eligible to request funds to develop and execute leadership activities that would have an impact beyond their own classroom. And then in addition to the grants, fellows are eligible to receive stipends. We recognize that our fellows are highly accomplished and have often made sacrifices, both in money spent on teacher prep programs and opportunity costs incurred by choosing teaching, which is often a low paying profession. These stipends allow fellows to reduce debts that they may have incurred and reduce the financial burden that teachers often bear, both which we know are factors that contribute to sustainability within the profession. Alternatively, stipends can also be used to support fellows financially during the summer months, allowing them to concentrate on reflecting on the past year, preparing for the upcoming year, and engage in professional development rather than taking on a part-time job during the summer, as unfortunately too many teachers need to do. So in total, fellows are able to access more than $50,000 in financial support over the 5 years of the fellowship. And just to note that these various grants and stipends are subject to board approval on an annual basis. We value the expertise and knowledge of skillful teachers, which is why we support our fellows with mentors and coaches. In fact, we recruit staff who have significant teaching experience to support our fellows. Our experienced teaching fellows staff, with over 100 years of teaching experience combined, view themselves first and foremost as teachers. Our staff regularly check in with fellows, support them to plan and reflect on their instruction, talk them through challenging professional dilemmas, and celebrate in their successes, both big and small. Staff also help fellows set professional goals and reflect on their progress toward those goals. They help connect them to others in the Knowles community and the broader educational community to learn with and from. In addition to staff, each team supports fellows with 2 or 3 veteran teachers, most of whom have over 20 years of experience individually, both as teachers and teacher leaders. These team specialists bring the on-the-ground experience and credibility. They attend meetings, support fellows in their inquiry, and provide counsel as true master teachers. Knowles Fellows are able to tap into a support network of more than 450 teachers across the country who are committed to improving math and science education. From in-person conversations that take place at cohort meetings to virtual conversations that take place in our online community, fellows really do know that that invaluable support is just mere moments away. Next, I'd like to talk about eligibility to apply for the fellowship. In June, we'll open the application for our 2024 Teaching Fellowship. Prospective applicants must meet the following eligibility requirements. The fellowship seeks to support individuals who intend to make teaching their primary career. So in order to be eligible for the fellowship, applicants must have recent knowledge of the content they intend to teach. Specifically, applicants must have earned a related degree between 2014 and September 1st, 2024. Additionally, applicants must have earned a secondary certification somewhere between January 1, 2019 and September 1, 2024, with the goal of full-time teaching in a high school math or science classroom no later than the fall of 2024. And last, the fellowship is intended to support teachers who are in their first, second, or third year teachers during the first year of the fellowship. And for the purposes of eligibility here, we consider an applicant's first year of teaching to be the first year in which they are teaching full-time for the full academic year as the teacher of record. And we know that even with these specific criteria, it is most certainly possible that you're going to have specific questions about your situation. And we want to make sure that you're able to confirm your eligibility before investing time to apply for the fellowship. So if you have questions regarding eligibility and we're not able to answer it today, or it's super specific to you, you can send your inquiry to apply@knowlesteachers.org, and we'll be sure to respond quickly. And we'll make sure at the end you have that email again.
Jen, I have a question about eligibility.
Yes.
Would a recent mathematics minor or a master's degree in teaching with a focus on mathematics meet eligibility requirements?
Yeah, so in order to be eligible, we're looking that you have significant content experience, which is usually a bachelor's degree, like a major in mathematics or equivalent coursework, especially at the upper level course. So if you've had some different experiences in mathematics, or most of your math courses were upper level, or you have the equivalent of a math degree, then you would be eligible. And if you're not sure if you would be eligible, you can always send a copy of your transcripts to apply@knowlesteachers.org, and we can let you know quickly. But we're really looking for comparable to a bachelor, a major in that field, especially in the upper level courses.
Okay, I have another one. What is meant by primary career? Is that determined by a certain number of years?
No, I think what we're just trying to say there is that you're going to view teaching as your full-time job, and it is something that you want to do for a long, sustained period of time. We're looking to support teachers throughout their career, not just for a year or 2 or 3. So that's really what we mean in that spot there, that you see this as a career that you want to get into for a duration of time.
Okay, I have one more. I am a second career teacher who is finishing up an alternate license program. I received my PhD in 2000. Am I still eligible for the fellowship?
So I would need to see more specifics, but in terms of yes, being certified, as long as you are certified by whatever state you're in to be a licensed teacher, then that is fine. In terms of second career, we have a number of fellows who this is their second career. And again, it's thinking about like what your PhD was in, if it was in a content related to the field that you're, if you want to apply for a chemistry under chemistry, and your PhD was related to chemistry, then that would meet that requirement as well. So we're looking for relatively recent content experience as part of that.
I have another one that came in. So if the degree was earned prior to 2014, would we be ineligible?
It's not quite black and white like that. Like that is our basic cut line to say, within the last 10 years, you've had some content experience, but depending on what you've done after that, we could look at that as well. So you might, again, want to just send us a copy of your CV or your resume, and we can look at that and help. We're looking again, have you done recent content experience outside of just teaching? Like, have you been, again, my background's math, so I tend to default to math. Have in the last couple of years, you've been engaged in any kind of activity where you would be drawing on your mathematical understanding.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jen. I have one more question that came in about the application process, but I know you'll be touching on that shortly, so I'll save that question for now.
That sounds perfect. Thanks. That's actually, I think, where we're headed next. There we go. Yeah. So I'm going to briefly highlight the application process, but really focus on telling you how to get started with that. So there are 4 rounds to be considered for a 2024 Knowles Teaching Fellowship. Applicants must submit an online application in the application round, submit short answers to 6 questions in the quarterfinal round, participate in an individual interview if you're advanced to the semifinalist round, and then those who go to the finalist round would submit 2 reference forms and participate in group interviews. And I want to share a little bit more specifically, and you can kind of see the time frames of those here on the screen, but I want to share a little more specifically about the application rounds, and that's going to be your first step. Our online application is quick and easy. In less than 30 minutes, an applicant can upload the required items and submit their application. I do just want to note that is a change from previous experiences. So if you've talked with someone who has done this before, this is a change in there. In the application round, applicants need to submit unofficial transcripts from all college work, any teaching certificates that they might currently hold, a resume, and answer a short answer response to one question in one of the 5 application windows. And let me say a little more about those windows now. So again, the application is going to open in June, and an applicant can select one of 5 application windows that are listed here on the screen to submit the initial application. And applicants are encouraged to submit their application in window 1 or as soon as possible, so that you can learn as soon as possible if you've made it to the quarterfinalist round. And once that notification is received that an applicant has made it to the quarterfinalist round, they will gain access to the next round, which is 6 short answer questions in the quarterfinalist round. So the earlier the window in which the applicant submits, the more time they'll have to complete the short answers as a quarterfinalist. And responses for the quarterfinalist questions, those 6 short answers, are due by January 16th, 2024, regardless of which application window you selected. So again, looking at the screen, you see application 1. Applicants will know by August 23rd if they've made it to the quarterfinalist round and would have access then to those 6 questions, where application window 5 closes January 2nd. So if that's when you're submitting, you would know on January 8th if you are making it to the quarterfinalist round, and then you would have till January 16th to complete those. So Evan, let's turn it to you with those questions.
Sure. If I was licensed in a state other than what I teach in, am I eligible?
Yes, as long as you maintain eligibility to teach whatever state you move to. So to be eligible to apply by September 1, 2024, you just have to be certified to teach. And oftentimes that happens. You're certified in one state, you might get a job in another state, and you go through a process of becoming certified in that next state. And as long as you get that certification and maintain it, you're good to go.
Thank you. Next one is, does accepting a summer job disqualify you from this fellowship?
Absolutely not. The only thing that happens during the summer is fellows are required to attend our summer conference, which is typically the last full weekend of July, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that time. So that would be the only requirement in there. We do have fellows who have jobs. Again, it's part of the reason we offer a stipend, hopefully to minimize how much you might need to do that, but you would totally be eligible for a fellowship.
Okay. I have another question. Do you consider prospective teachers in private high schools that don't require teaching certification?
So our fellows teach in every kind of school across all the country that there is. So it doesn't matter if your school requires you to be certified or not, but however, to be eligible for a fellowship, you do need to be certified. So we require certification regardless of whether the school itself does or not.
Oh, I have a few more that just came through.
Okay, great.
Are you able to apply multiple times before the final deadline?
No, once you've applied at the round 1 application, if you don't make it to in the application round, if you don't make it to the quarterfinalist round, then you may be eligible the following year to apply, but would not be eligible to apply again in another window.
Does the size of the school you teach at affect your eligibility? I work in a very rural district in Nebraska.
No, it does not. We have folks who teach in very large schools and folks who teach. We had a fellow who taught in Alaska in a 1-room schoolhouse. So it varies, and the only requirement we have is that you're teaching high school math and science students, and that's it. Size of the school doesn't matter, and that you're full-time. That's the other.
Okay, thank you. If we were selected in this application cycle, will we be required to attend the 2024 conference?
Yes, so the 2024 cohort, if you make it all the way through the different rounds and you're in the finalist round and you are then awarded and offered a fellowship to join the 2024 cohort, you would be required, and all these dates will be part of the application process where you'll see that You would be required to attend a one-day orientation, which is the day right before summer conference, and then the 3 days of summer conference. And then there are fall meetings and spring meetings that get determined throughout the year that it requires attendance.
Okay, I have another eligibility question. I am currently obtaining my master's in special education pre-K through 12. I will be a first-year learning support math teacher next year. Would this meet requirements?
So you would need to have a strong background, the bachelor, major or comparable in math or science, and be certified also to teach math or science. We have many folks who are dual certified in some different areas, and the majority of your day, at least half your day, would have to be focused on teaching math and science, but it could be, there are different kind of inclusion classrooms and such that would be fine with as well. But it would need to be high school, teaching half the time, at least in high school in that scenario. And Evan, I just want to back up one
Sure.
quickly, just to say, like, with the conferences, that is all, the travel is paid for by Knowles. It's funded by us. So there's very little, if any, expense to the fellows.
Perfect, thank you. I have another question that came in. Is it better or worse to apply during any one of the application windows?
It does not increase your likelihood or not, depending on which window it is. The only advantage is really to you. The advantage of applying in window 1 is that you then have a much longer time to answer those 6 and work on those 6 short answers that are due in January 16th. I want to make sure I'm staying the right dates here. So the advantage is really just you, in terms of how long you would have to write those. So, and we, trying to think about, like, looking up against, like, what's coming up in your schedule, like, how does this align with your school, be it as a teacher or as a student, and where do you see the best window for you? But again, the application round itself for round 1 is we really think it, about 30 minutes. There's one question, and it's putting in there your contact information, your unofficial transcripts, and your resume, and your teacher certification if you have that at that point. So that's the only advantage, is to give you more time to write. But there's no, edge for doing on our end for you doing it in one window versus another.
Thank you. I have a few more. If I am going to receive my science and teaching dual degree in December 2023, would I still be able to apply?
In December, could you say that one more time?
Sure. If I am going to receive my science and teaching dual degree in December 2023, would I still be able to apply?
Yes, because that would fall within the window there, and as long as you have your degree by September 1st of 2024, and you are certified by September 1st of 2024, and are ready to begin teaching full-time by September 2024, good to go.
Okay. When does the application open?
The application will open in June of this year, so month and a half or so.
Perfect. Whom can we reach out to if we have questions while filling out the application? And will letters of recommendation be required? Sorry, they're from the same question.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, so the best way to reach out is to email apply, APPLY, at knowlesteachers.org. That's going to be the go-to for any questions, if you're having any technical difficulties or whatever it might be, that is the email to send any of that to. And there will be 2 references that are required that will submit a form that we would send to them. And that would be due for those who are moving into the finalist round. So the time framing on that is around April of next year is when the references would get the form, and it would need to be submitted before the group interview on April 20th. So end of March into early April is when they would have that to submit.
Thank you. I would assume a certain number of fellows are selected in each application cycle. Is it possible to apply in one cycle but get accepted in a later cycle?
So we, in the 2024 cohort, in most cohorts, we award approximately 35 fellowships. If you are offered a fellowship, and let's use this as an example for 2024, and you're unable to take the fellowship, you would have to decline the fellowship and go through the application process again. And there's no guarantee either way. So you're not able to defer the fellowship if you're awarded a fellowship.
Okay. I began working as a teacher in December 2020. Am I still able to apply?
So that would make your first full year of teaching in the 21-22 school year. So if you continue, so that'd be 21-22, 22-23, 23-24. So I think you would not be eligible because that would put you in the year 24, September 24, as being a fourth year teacher, starting your fourth full year of teaching. Again, you could send your resume and I could look at it to make sure, and you would send that to apply@knowlesteachers.org. But the key to remember is in September of 2024, so not this coming September, but the following one. So in September of 2024, you would need to be either a first year teacher, a second year teacher, or a third year. So starting your first, second, or third year as a full-time teacher of record in September of 2024. That's the eligibility window there. So just quickly, I think you would be starting your fourth year, which would make you not eligible. But again, I'm happy to look at a resume, or you can just kind of send apply@knowlesteachers.org the information, and I can look at it more closely.
Okay, I have two more questions. What's most important in an application? Mastery of the content, teaching experience, or other?
I would say the most important thing in when you're doing the writing, when you're answering the questions, is that you are being authentic of you. We want to know who you are, and we want to see that come through in the writing in that way. So that's like the most critical thing there. But we do look at 3 areas and we weigh them all the same. One is not weighted higher than the other. So we're looking for strong content knowledge and ways that you can use that to develop into a great teacher. We're looking for folks who have the potential to develop exemplary teaching practices where you are seeing, talking about the complexities of teaching and reflecting on things, and who have the potential to work with others as teacher leaders to affect change in the schools. And all of that information is available on our website. Our 3 selection criteria are there. I encourage you to read them and make sure that that's something that you feel compelled by. And they're weighted equally across everything. But when you're writing, be authentic from yourself. That's the best thing.
Okay, I have one last question. I have a marine science master's degree. Am I eligible to apply for the fellowship, though I am not enrolled in any teaching certification program till now?
So as long as you'll be certified by September of 2024, so as long as you have that certification for teaching, from that end, yes, you're fine and you would be eligible. And we're looking, so the areas you'll need to choose a focus area of how you want to be evaluated. It's math, biology, physics, or chemistry. And you want to think about given your background, and I'm not sure what your undergrad is as well, but again, we're looking, do you have sufficient content in that area that you're applying under? Especially if it's not a direct major, do you have enough, do you have significant experience in upper level courses to help with that depth of understanding of whatever content area you're applying under? Again, I'm happy to take a glance at transcripts and go from there, but that's I think the best way to approach that.
So I have 2 more. I'm just trying to scan them to see if we
Yeah,
can. Give me 1 second.
sure, no problem.
Is it possible for an applicant to be seen as having too much experience, even if it is the beginning of their public teaching career?
So possibly, if you have been a full-time teacher of record for more than the years that would keep you as a first, second, or third year teacher in 2024, September 2024. It is possible that you would have too much teaching experience. Again, this is designed to support beginning teachers. We don't make a distinction between public, private, like those kinds of settings aren't distinguished for us. But if you've had, so if you were a teacher for 8 years and you've just gotten certified, you're not really then a beginning teacher. So again, this is geared toward beginning teachers. That's the thing to keep in mind. But again, I'm happy to look at a CV or a resume and just give you a quick look to say, yeah, it looks like you're not a beginning teacher. You're not entering your third year as a full-time teacher.
Okay, and the last one I have are, if part of my interest in joining the fellows relates to using financial support to pursue further content knowledge, is this considered in eligibility determinations?
We have fellows use the grant funding for professional development to dig deeper into content all the time. We aren't able to find any additional degrees, like we can't find a master's degree or something. We don't fund teacher education programs. You have to come to us with all of that. But we are all about always digging deeper into your content and understanding it in different ways. And fellows do that in different ways. Sometimes taking, an additional course to get into an area that they might be teaching and want to learn more about. So that is, it's not, that is there as an opportunity for fellows.
Okay, that's all that's come through the chat. So if there are any final questions, feel free to enter those now, or as Jen mentioned, feel free to send an email to apply@knowlesteachers.org if there are any questions that you would like to ask that are specific to you or just that we didn't cover today. Suzanne Garcia, a Knowles Senior Fellow, shares why she thinks new teachers should apply for a Knowles Teaching Fellowship.
Hello, my name is Suzanne Garcia. I'm in the 2017 cohort. Why should you, early career teacher, apply to the Knowles Fellowship? This fellowship provides tremendous support during some of the most challenging professional years of your life. And also, you get to grow together with a group of people who are dedicated to teaching, who are invigorated by teaching, and you just really form tremendous connections within your cohort community and within the greater Knowles community. Another, really nice perk is access to resources. If you need materials for your class, if you want to plan special experiences as part of your professional development, Knowles will support you in that. And they really do treat teachers as professionals, which is a rare and honorable gift with this fellowship. And it's just really enriched my teaching and through that, the experiences of my students. And I'm very thankful for that. So give yourself the opportunity, apply. It's totally worth it.
There it is. But I've lost my mouse. I can't find my notes here.
Oh, sorry, no problem. I can do it.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Supporting new math and science teachers through the Knowles Teaching Fellowship, we also offer state-of-the-art professional learning experiences that are designed for teachers by teachers through the Knowles Academy. Our 90-minute introductory online short courses are designed to improve math and science teaching and learning for both new and experienced teachers. As a token of appreciation, we offer our Knowles Academy short courses at no cost to teachers. You can visit the website listed here or scan the QR code here to see all of our upcoming offerings and reserve your spot.
I found my mouse. All right, so to learn more about the fellowship, again, you can visit our website. If you want to be notified when the application opens, there's a spot there that you can fill out, or you can scan this QR code shown here. And if you have questions that we weren't able to address in this presentation or they're not available on our website, again, contact us at apply at knowlesteachers.org for assistance, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you for your time and attention. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you all of our attendees. Have a good afternoon.